MobLand Season 1, Episode 7 recap. There are spoilers ahead. What if I told you that in this series, the betrayal of families doesn't just mean dismantling them, but it also means dismantling entire empires? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the hidden betrayals. We're going to talk about all the recap of what happened in the episode. And we're going to see what sort of lessons we can learn from the show itself. So let's dive right in. You know, one of the things that really came to mind when I was watching the episode is this idea that sometimes we trust people that really care, and sometimes they let us down. And I've done that many times in my life. And here it reminded me when Mave was actually, going behind Conrad's back and talking to Richie and doing all these backdoor deals. And Conrad was blind, but I think he felt something was off. You know, I've done that myself too. I feel like something's off. And Conrad asked Mave, let me see that text message that Richie sent you. And Mave side-eyes him, kind of looks at him kind of cockeyed or whatever, and is like, listen, if you don't trust me now, you might as well be dead. So he kind of leaves it as that. He doesn't want any trouble, and he keeps going along. But that betrayal by Mave could end up costing him everything at this point, right? The other thing that came to mind is, in the Antwerp ambush, when Harry ran in there, they had written war in blood, right? So there's no more sort of tactical things going around. Richie has contracted the Mexican mafia, the Mexican cartel, and they are now the ones that are doing the dirty work for Richie. And so they kidnapped Seraphina and Brendan. And, I think this really shows this idea of Mave being betrayed by Richie. She thought she had control. She thought she could manipulate this guy, and letting her pride and ego get in the way is now costing her dearly. It actually cost her son, Brendan. And the power that Conrad tries to use, he's trying to use this power, but it's coming off chaotic, right? He just sends Harry in there by himself. Harry's causing all kinds of trouble, shooting people up, blowing things up, and it's just all full force ahead instead of thinking strategically of maybe other things that he can do. He's being really blind. And then we have Cat Mallister, a whole new character that's come in who changed the entire game in one call, right? She's not just manipulating things here. She actually, it feels like she owns the entire battlefield. I don't know if she's CIA or some other sort of contractor, but she seems to know Harry very intimately. At the end of the episode, she tells Harry, "You owe me." So what does that mean? Does that mean Harry's going to have to now betray Conrad as well? Has Conrad traded his daughter's life for the loyalty of Harry? Because Harry may not have a choice now at this point. And Harry did this all for Conrad and the Heragans. So we don't know what's going to happen next. But it does remind me of this sort of mindset of the strongest aren't always the smartest, right? Because you see how not willing Conrad is to be adaptable. So he's not willing to be adaptable. He is always running into these issues with loyalty and leaks and the police getting involved. And, he killed Archie out of just being Conrad. And now Archie was the one person that could have helped him with the Mexican cartel, and he's gone. So there's a lot of that going on. And, with Cat versus somebody like Richie, Cat is going at it in a way where she's very smart about what she does. She knows that she can get a favor out of Harry if she just does this one phone call, where Richie's just reacting, going out of anger. Rightfully so. His son was chopped up. His wife was blown up. I would be upset too. He's just not thinking strategically if he's really trying to take out Conrad and his family in the way where he can take over, or he's just going guns a-blazing. It doesn't matter who takes the fall for him or who's going to go down. He doesn't really care, right? So I think all of this shows us that winning today doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be safe tomorrow. Again, with Harry, we don't know what he's going to have to do for this favor now at this point. With Brendan, he is now dead. He thought he was going to have this deal with Jules, and his dad was going to love him again because he wasn't such a screw up. And now he ended up being chopped in half by a cartel, mobster basically, which was crazy. And then, I think one of the final things to think about is This idea of being too prideful and how it can blindness and lead to collapse. And this is in full effect here for this family. They are on their heels. They're trying to save family members. They're losing family members. They're losing loyal members of their crew, all because Mave's pride, Conrad's blindness. So that's all. If you like this video, please hit like. Don't forget to subscribe for more MobLand breakdowns. Thanks.